Can I take a break? 1 second. Break. 1 second.
She's crying. Oh, I hate that noise.
But you know, we way before any kind of social media things. You're the only person that probably knows the real me.
What was so hard for you to say, do you know what, I can't be with you because I know I'm not capable of being faithful?
For the first time, Castillo wants to sit down with his ex Ria to come clean on his past behaviours whilst they were together. But with Castillo revealing a hidden secret, is an amicable solution on the cards, or will shock revelations be too much for Riet to forgive and forget?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you can really pay me to go and sit on a show with an ex that did me dirty. That's just not happening. Hi, Dormy.
What's good, Ree?
You good? How are you?
I'm good, not too bad. You look nice.
Thank you.
The grills are too big.
You're not
for
gonna
her.
say I look nice or
No.
nice? I thought you were gonna say something about me. You're not gonna say I look nice or
No.
nice?
What happened? Dormirad is French. Dormirad. Like sleep. What happened? Are they gonna give a backstory on why he's missing 2 teeth? What happened? They gotta give the background story to that. I need to hear it. Like what? What happened? That's gold in his mouth? Then what is this right here? That's not gold. What is this? That is not gold right here. He's missing a tooth. You smashed the accent? I speak French.
I thought you were gonna say something about me looking nicer. You know, I got dressed up for the
No,
occasion.
you look alright, but I just want to know why you brought me here.
Well, we're just gonna get straight into
He
it
did
like
not
that.
bring you here. You
Basically.
didn't have to
I don't know,
go
this feels
some-
mad formal. But basically, the only reason I brought you on here is because obviously we was in a relationship for 4 years. Yeah.
3.5.
Now it's 4.
It was 3.5.
Why 3.5?
It was 3.5.
It's 4.
Go on.
But yeah, basically,
Why did she go?
there's a lot that you don't know and a lot that I never said. And I just feel like this is the time that I want to actually
Okay, you
No, it
see,
Say
doesn't
to-
make sense.
I'm
Why
gonna
you
just say this right now. First of all, you asked me to come on this show. I'm not coming because you already did me dirty. Like, if me going over there is going to get rid of your guilty conscience because you're gonna let everything out on me, and it's gonna affect me. So I would rather you stay in your guilt instead of coming to me. I'm not about to be the bigger person. So her even showing up to me is like, bro, go home. Like, what's the reason? What is this gonna do? We're not gonna get back together. It's done. Like, why is she here? And then she already has all that attitude. Like, girl, no, go home.
couldn't have told me this before. I don't know why you feel like it's like the best
Because
solution is
he's
to come here
guilty and he
first
wants
and tell
to.
me.
I think because I'm kind of like an open book now, innit? With all this social media
Yeah,
thing.
I've been asking you like to come forward and be honest with certain things you've done, which you've never done. So it doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not.
You
I'm
never
Why
not.
asked me.
so long?
I'm not
You
even
never asked me.
heated.
I have a-
I'm not even heated. It's the way she's over there, like she's sitting there, like you accepted to go. I would never accept that, so I wouldn't be in this situation. But if you accept to go, off rip, you're giving attitude. Like her energy's literally like I'm about to. I don't know what this man did, but if based on her being there, what he did wasn't enough because why is she there? And then like she's already like being
Asked you, Joe.
You've asked me little things, but not.
But you've never been honest about anything.
baited.
I've kind of been honest about a few things. A few things. Do you get what I mean? I don't even know where to start. Do you get what I mean? Like, where would I even begin with like what I
I need
want
to
to
know
say?
what happened to his
Throughout the
team.
4 years, would you say that
Is she crying already?
it was a good relationship?
She's crying already.
Do you know what? That's not what this is about. But like obviously in our relationship things were good, but at the same time we've had our problems. You know, reason why it wasn't always great. Reason why I had to step out a few times. But at the same time,
What do you mean step out and
I've
back?
stepped out a few times.
You're chatting shit.
I've stepped out.
You are chatting shit. I know you're chatting shit.
When I say step out, I don't mean like going elsewhere and
Okay,
being in
thank God.
someone
I
else's
thought you were trying to
relationship.
chat some other shit. Boy.
No, I'm not talking about that, Joseph. I'm talking about me telling you that I need a break from you.
Yeah.
Or, you know, not talking to you for like a while. That's what I
Yeah.
mean by step out, not as in to see someone else.
But I never really saw like you going quiet as like. Do you know what I mean? I never really saw that as a break. I just saw that as You was just vexed in the
So
moment.
you just thought that me not speaking to you for a whole week is just me being angry and that you think it's normal. So you're sick.
That's kind of what I thought.
So you're trying to tell me that by you not speaking to me for a whole week, 10 days is fine, like it's normal in a relationship?
To be fair, back then, the way I was kind of moving, I never really, like, I paid attention to the silence, but at the same time, I just thought it was just you being vexed and then you just chill out after a little while. Do you know what I mean?
No, at the end of the day, if I feel like, if I've gone quiet on you, it's your job to try and find out why I'm upset, you know, and we're meant to resolve this.
But you see, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. Back then, I wouldn't have even thought about that. I think from then till now, I've probably changed a lot in how you know me.
Okay, so what's the difference from then and now?
What do you mean? Like, as in, what I mean is in
portray
this,
yourself on the,
Bro,
the way
what is
you,
the point
no,
of
but the
this?
way
Like,
you still
this
portray
man
yourself,
really wants to
I
get
don't see a
this guilt
difference.
off
It's
his
just that you're
back.
more open about it.
no, what I mean is in the sense that the way I see things and looking back at things now, I can understand it a bit better than I was then. So back then, a lot of things that I was doing, like, you know, I never used to like to talk on the phone. I used to hate talking on the phone. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But now that that's just a little thing, but something like that now,
What was your problem with that?
because of how I was used to moving, the phone call things,
Give me an example.
when you're the type of person that moves a bit mad and you see a lot of different people,
What the
then
fuck is this
you
nigga
never
on
really
about?
want to talk on the phone
So
to
as
people.
Are
in-
you
You'll
a
see
drug
more people.
dealer?
I'll get to that, but what I'm trying to
So
say is
he
that
sold
the reason I
drugs?
never
Like,
liked
what is
phone
it? He
calls
didn't
because I
want
got
the
used to a certain
police
way
to
of
be
moving.
listening in? Like,
So
what's
meaning
going
things
on?
like we've never ever had each other's phone passwords, but I'm pretty sure if I'd asked you back then, you would have said yeah. If you'd have asked me, I would have probably never given it to you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like things like my phone face down and all these things. These were just natural things, the things that are just how I'd move. But realistically, looking back at it, that's not things that you do in a
Bro,
relationship.
Jen,
You understand what I'm trying to say?
bruh.
But that's how I was used
Well, he needs
to
to
moving.
spit it out.
Now, like the reason I've really
Get
brought you on it is
good.
because there's so much like things that I want to say to you
Bro,
because
start talking, bro.
obviously there's social media, but you know we way before any kind of social media things. You're the only person that probably knows the real me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know me through and through, even before gold teeth, everything.
Okay.
So what I mean
know
is
your
in the
point is.
sense that I owe you a lot of things. Like I owe you
Oh, 100%.
explanations. Do you understand? Yeah,
100%.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And I don't know why it took you this long. Like, I'm just not understanding it. When our relationship ended
used
and
to
I've been
fix her
asking you
eyebrows. That's the
about
only
what
thing that's
happened,
bothering
like
me right now.
if there was anyone else which you wouldn't tell me, I don't know why you felt like you couldn't tell me until now. That's what I don't understand, Joseph.
You just use my government name, bro. That's okay. you could do it. I don't mind. The reason I couldn't tell you all these things then is because, to be fair, I was never able to just look at you in the face and say any of these things to you. It would kill me to say any of these things to you
you're
because
pathetic, to be honest.
kill me to say any things to you because of how highly I view you. You're like you're my longest relationship. You're my first love. You're the only person I've ever wanted to have children with.
No, you didn't.
Only person I'd ever want to get
No, you
married to.
didn't.
No, that's the thing. That's what you think. And this is what I'm trying to say. Like, throughout the time that we was together, there's so much that you didn't know about me. There's me like you know me, and you know the real me. But there's other parts of me that you could never know.
Bro,
In regards to when you asked me, was I seeing other people? Not,
What you seen other people? Is a yes or no answer?
yeah.
How many?
That's when it gets complicated because then I'd have to.
How many?
No, I'd have to give you.
How many?
I can't tell you.
It's
I
not
could
even
give you a
funny, I
number.
don't
I
know
couldn't
why
give you a
you're laughing.
number. No, I couldn't give you a number. It's the way you're
You
just
can't
being.
give me a number.
What I mean is in the sense that, okay, best way I could describe it, yeah. When we first got together, I didn't expect us to get in a relationship because I never expected it to turn into that because I never wanted a relationship with anybody.
Don't make me get
But
vexed when you find
throughout
out
being
about
with you,
Tourette's.
I think once it hit a year, to me it was just like, that's when I would say that I proper fell in love with you after a year. And it was basically for a lot of different actions as to why I fell in love with you. So a lot of things that you would do, a lot of things that you would say, a lot of your nature, being around you being around like my obviously my mum, my grandmother, and seeing how you were and all that stuff. That's all these little things that made me actually fall in love with you. So for me, it's always a slow burn because it's always, for me, I look at everybody the same. I kind of hold everybody to the same standard. Do you know what I mean? But you surpassed it and you just went to next levels of it.
Okay, but it doesn't make sense. So I surpassed that, went to next
She's
level.
not
but you're still cheating.
answering like how many
Yeah,
it
but
was.
I
Like,
You
think-
fell in love, but you're still cheating.
Yeah, but the thing about that is that I don't think I was ready.
You fell in love, but you're still cheating.
Yeah,
That's not love, Joe.
it is love. It is love. I can, you can, a man can
it's
love
not.
someone and then see other people.
No,
okay,
it's
look,
not.
if I'm being
It's
honest
not
with you, this is how
love.
it goes, yeah?
So if I was in love with you, but I was out there seeing other people, it'd be fine.
No, that's
Okay,
mad.
so why?
exactly.
That's different though.
How is it
It's not
different?
It's different. It's just different.
How is it different?
I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's just different. Yeah, but this is what I'm gonna say.
Fucking idiot.
This is
Poor
what I'm gonna
thing is
say. Like
confused.
when
I'm
we
poor thing
first got
too, because
together,
I'm confused as
it was
hell.
literally
Call me poor thing, because I'm confused as
you,
hell.
just you, and I always saw you as my girlfriend. So I always put you in another box as anything. You're the only person that I would.
You're not make. It doesn't make. That doesn't make me feel.
No. It's not about making you feel something way. I'm just basically trying to make you get something. So for example, if I'm honest, I met you at an event, right?
Right.
We met each other at an event. Yeah. I
He's
met
not cooking anything.
other people at that event, but I never took any of those people serious. But the problem with me is I just kept consistent links with people that I didn't really give a fuck about. But then
Okay.
you was always my girlfriend and I
Wait,
always
whilst
had,
we was together.
yeah. So like, during our 4 years, I don't know how to put it in a way not sounding like a weirdo, but it's almost
are a
like,
weirdo.
imagine I had you like at the top, like a main, like a queen or whatever. Like I see you as that. So meaning in the sense that you know everything about me. You're the only person I'm ever gonna
I'm
let you in
grossed
all the
out.
way.
Like, why
You're gonna
is he
see
talking
me,
like this?
like you're gonna see me through every kind of like emotion or whatever, which you have seen me for every kind of emotion or whatever. But then I had, let's say, 2 people below that, which were just like consistent links. One was like a video model thing, another one was like some older Jamaican thing. And then below that, I would just have like another 4 consistent links that I might just keep there because maybe
Can I take
they
a
m-
break? Can I take a break? 1 second.
That nigga had a pyramid. That nigga had a food pyramid. Bro, I would have left. Bro, I would have left. Like, what made him think that he could just sit there and do this? Like why do that? Like, he don't care about this woman, bro. Like, it's like she's twisting the knife in there. That's fucked up. Like, what does that mean? You literally just told her you were here for 4 years and you kept her above, but then you had all these links and above pyramids. Like, he's wording his ass. Like, I'm telling y'all, this man is telling her all this to get rid of his guilty conscience.
Right. Go on.
Shoot, I should shed no tear over this nigga, bro.
Huh? Yeah, come. On the back. It should be alright. Yeah. Go on.
yeah. So, are you right?
Fuck you.
Do you know what? It's nothing to be sad about because
There's nothing to be said about.
no, not on your end because in the
Not
long,
on my end.
in the long run, it's like
What
You're
the
making
fuck
sense.
is
Like,
this
I'm the
nigga
one that
talking
should be-
about?
I don't know how to say it.
What? Go on. You're the one that should be sad.
I mean, in the sense that
Are you sick?
it's bad karma for me, not for you. It's best for you because you're free from it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're free from it. But with what I'm about
It's
to tell
bad karma
you,
for you.
yeah,
So that karma hasn't come yet. Okay.
no, it has.
No, it hasn't.
No, that's the thing. It has. These people didn't mean anything to me. This was like a pastime. These weren't people that I gave a fuck about. I didn't give a fuck about none of these people.
But you
The thing
made
is,
time
right,
of your
if-
day to
if-
do it. You put the energy to hide it from her.
If you felt the way you felt about me, but you was doing your bullshit on the side, what was so hard for you to say, do you know what, I can't be with you because I know I'm not capable of being faithful?
Because
What was so hard about doing that?
I
And
want-
then you'll take me outside in public.
You probably met those
wasn't-
And
women.
when I'm working, that's what you're doing behind closed doors. But did you not feel that's embarrassing? on my behalf. Ain't that embarrassing for me?
Looking back on it, yeah.
I would be out all the time. Was he not always out?
Yeah, looking back on it, yeah. And that's why I'm trying to say that it took me a long time to realize all these different things.
You realized it while
Do
you
you
were
understand what I'm
doing
trying to say?
it.
It took me a long time to realize what I was doing.
It took you too long to realize.
I didn't want to tell you because ultimately I wanted to be with you. I only ever wanted to be with you. And I thought to myself, me doing what I was doing, it wasn't anything serious for me, so I never took it serious. I literally looked at it like a pastime. I didn't give a fuck about any of these people. I would meet their families,
The thing is, if you didn't give a fuck about these people, first of all, you've taken the time of your day to meet their families, like he just said. If you don't give a fuck about it, what about you giving a fuck about her? You have to give a fuck about her. If you don't care about anything but her, you gotta just put her first and leave that shit alone. Like, this nigga is literally, this is what it is. He's sitting there. He's probably in a better place, or he's grown or whatever, and he's guilty about it, and he just wants to go and dish out all that nasty ass energy, all that nasty ass guilt out to the person that he hurt, so that once he knows, okay, I let her know how I truly feel, now I feel better. This is literally what's going on. This full disclosure shit. Yeah, no, like, this nigga's just trying to make himself feel better and trying to, their
mums, meet all these type of people, and I didn't give a fuck about their parents. I didn't give a fuck about their family. I didn't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, he was never meeting mine anyways.
No, and this is the thing.
He was never meeting mine.
Nah, and I'm glad I never met yours, because it's like you not ever introducing me to your parents.
Purposely done.
Yeah, me meeting your parents to me would have felt like the ultimate disrespect on my end. Yeah.
You see all that guilt
people,
talking?
I didn't give a fuck about them, so I didn't really care to meet their parents. With you, I never wanted to meet.
It's the complete opposite as to the generation these days.
What do you mean?
Guys don't want to meet the girls' families unless it's a serious situation. It's like you think backwards.
Yeah, because I was ashamed. I didn't want to meet your parents because
But the thing is, you was ashamed, but you kept doing it with not one, not two, but a pyramid of women.
This is what I'm doing because I care too much for you to meet your parents. Whereas everybody else...
You care too much.
Yeah, but everybody else, I didn't give a fuck because I didn't mind meeting their parents. I could look at their mums and have a big conversation with people's mums and make their mums like me.
Sick.
And I didn't give a fuck about their mum.
He is sick.
But I understand what you're saying.
I'm hearing him, but he's still sick.
This is why I'm talking to you about it now, because now I'm able to talk about it. Now I'm able to...
Jen, please. Thank you for
basically tell you what was on my mind, like, and just tell you how I was moving, because it's been a long time. You're the only person I've wanted to have kids with. You're the only person, and I know I'm never, and you know me already to know that I don't want kids. I never wanted kids, never, and you know that. But we'll get to that. But you know that I've never wanted children. Look, for real. Look, you know, for real. Have I ever wanted children?
Well,
let me just
show me that you haven't wanted children.
You know me well enough to know that I've never wanted children. You know my mum well enough to know how I am when it comes to kids. You know that, and that's not even me saying that to you. That comes from my mum. You know that, right? I'm not trying to. Do you get what I'm saying though? I've never wanted children with anybody.
That's why you abandoned yours.
Besides you. Yeah, let's listen.
He abandoned his child.
That was one of the reasons that we got to that point where we were kind of like,
what?
It wasn't ever gonna, like, it wasn't progressing, because I knew you wanted to have children, and it's something that I kept on avoiding, right? And you know that. It's something I kept on trying to, like, put off and
a secret.
I'm gonna get to that. You know, obviously my biological mum and dad, it was a one-night stand. They had me, both of them are schizophrenic, and then my grandmother adopted me, and I've literally been raised by my gran from a baby in poverty, been through.
You know, but you're trying to, no, what you're trying to say is because you never had an actual father or like a proper family in your life, you thought that you were able to give that to someone else.
No.
What the fuck?
That's what it is.
No, that's not what it was. Now, you know that when we was going out together that, like, financially, emotionally, mentally, everything, I was literally...
You was broke.
And I was unhappy. Yeah? And
you wasn't broke
when it
enough
comes
if you had
to
so many
me linking
women
all these
behind
different
you.
girls that I didn't give a fuck about, the reason I was doing that was because I was failing in like every other aspect of my life. That was the only thing I felt that was an accomplishment to me. It's the only thing I felt that
they were trophies.
I could look at, like, that is something that...
Sorry, what?
Like, it's almost like when you fail in every other aspect of life.
What was your accomplishment?
Knowing that I could get girls, that was what it was to me.
That was your accomplishment. That's
Yeah,
what you
at the
focused
time, yeah.
in life. That's what
At
you
the
thought was
time, yeah.
important.
At the time, yeah. You don't know this, but obviously you know the time when we went to Christine's, who's obviously,
Yeah.
people that don't know, my biological mum. Like, when I went through that time, like, I literally nearly went crazy. I nearly went mad. And I was super unhappy. I wanted to kill myself. I was super unhappy. When you ask me, why couldn't I tell you all these things, is because you kept me alive almost. Like, you kind of kept me...
Yeah, and then you didn't appreciate
Like,
that you were grateful.
I would have
and you did
probably,
her
like,
dirty.
killed myself if it wasn't for
GTA.
you. You're the only thing that really kept me going. When it comes down to the finances things,
cheated.
you know that I was trying. Like, that's one thing, I was always trying. Like, I was always doing,
Yeah.
I was always like hustling with my events thing. I was trying my hardest to do that. And to be honest with you, when it comes to falling in love, the moment I fell in love with you was that time when I had my first event. I was selling tickets and you was out there with me. I would honestly say that it's moments like that that made me realize that I was really in love with you and I wanted to keep you forever. And that's why I was so funny about,
The thing is, right,
yeah,
in regards to helping you out, it just doesn't make sense because when it comes to like being financial, I was helping you out at the same time. Like
Yeah.
if you needed something, I would have been there for you. So like, and I
Yeah,
never
for you
actually
to take
asked you
that-
for anything,
The biggest piss.
right? And I was
Oh, no, it's
okay with my
insane.
job and I was stable. So,
It's not making
that's
sense.
the thing.
and you was doing your part-time jobs as well.
That wasn't shit though.
Even if it
was
wasn't, that
still
doesn't mean you're
income.
gonna go
People do worse
sleep with
things
these
than you.
niggas.
Nah. For me, that period of my life, I'd have to say that's like probably, in terms of like love and connection with you, for me that was like my greatest. But in terms of my own personal self, like building
So why
and all
didn't
that
you
stuff,
just
it's like I
leave
hit
her
like
alone?
rock bottom. And like obviously I couldn't do no more events because there was like a shooting at my rave and all the venues got locked off in West London and shit like that. And then obviously I was doing the nightclub security thing and I was doing bouncing and then I was doing the kitchen porter thing and that was like 6, 7 an hour. The nightclub bouncing thing, that was like 10 an hour. And all these things just made me think to myself,
Well,
like,
do you know what I was
well,
thinking about? When we was together, there's times when you personally ask me how I'm feeling
Yeah,
in regards to our relationship.
yeah. Because I
Like,
wanted,
no, you'd ask me, oh,
you
how
wanna
do you
break up
feel?
with
Is
me?
everything okay? Blah,
Yeah.
blah. What do you think we can change or whatnot? But these times, yours being a slag outside the house. So at the end of the day, you had no right to even ask me how I felt about the relationship.
when I said to you, when I was asking you,
Like, didn't you ask yourself that?
no, when I was asking
But didn't
you,
you ask yourself that?
what do you mean?
How you felt about the relationship? If you know it's not right, so you should just let me go.
Who, me?
Yes.
I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't let you go because I felt like you was keeping
Selfish.
me
That
alive.
wasn't love.
And at the same time, because we had been through so much, I never wanted to let you go. Like I said, I just saw these people as pastimes
He looks
and
like
boredom and
Offset.
And something to do while I was
I don't
bored.
know.
but during that time I thought to myself, as time goes on, I'm always gonna have you and it's
A mixed
eventually
Offset.
it's gonna
So you're
work
basically
out.
just using me. Just holding me
Nah,
there
it
for no
wouldn't have been
reason.
using because like I said, I wanted to have kids with you, I wanted to marry. I just needed to sort my own self out. That's how I was
By
looking
doing
at it.
that,
It was never a thing
diving
where
into
I'm
females.
gonna like let
So
you
where
go.
would you say you are now in life?
What do you mean?
Financially, emotionally?
I would say like this is the maddest thing about that time. I'd say emotionally,
I'm talking about now, compared to last time.
I say this is the first time that I know myself. I didn't know myself before in the sense that just as we, obviously at Christine's fucking house, like that's when everything started happening for me. That's when things slowly started happening for me. And then everything started changing for me. Like obviously,
For the better?
yeah, because obviously the social media thing changed my life. It's the only, like, I've made more money from social media than I ever had from anything. I made more
So
in
money made
social
him
media
realize he
So would you
wasn't
say
in a
digging.
financially
month than I
stable
did in
now?
my whole life working.
He's
that
probably
again?
financially
So you're
stable
financially
and
stable
niggas
now?
is using him and he's realizing
I would
he
say,
had
yeah.
good people
You
and
are.
now he doesn't.
I would say, yeah, emotionally I know myself a bit more because when we was together, you knew that I was trying. I was either trying my venting, I was trying to do music, that was my main thing. I was trying so many
This
different
nigga's a
things.
loser.
You'd see me trying a million different things. And it's like nothing was working. And it just added to more of the fact why. Remember that time with the 20p? The 20p?
That you thought that you got upset because I threw it behind the bed?
Yeah.
Okay, it was 20p.
Yeah, but it hit me that much because it's like, it's all I had.
It was 20p.
But it's all I had.
What the fuck is 20?
And then I think, even though you was joking when you dashed it, it made me go crazy because I thought to myself, like, this is literally all I have. And it wasn't about you, it was about me. I just thought to myself, right, look at the way I've got my life to this point where this 20p is all the fuck that I got right now.
You're trying to tell me that's all you had? And
Yeah.
that's why you reacted the way you did?
I got angry at that.
It was
because,
20p, Joe.
Yeah, but I got angry at that moment because it wasn't about you. It was a build-up of everything in my life at that moment. It's almost like everything I was trying at that moment, everything had failed. Then I'm thinking about
like a beating basket or something.
all these other things on my mind, where I was living. I was thinking about the fact that I'm with you, and I felt like I wasn't giving you what you needed in terms of like I said, I couldn't take you out, I couldn't do all these different things. And then it's just like, when I saw that 20p and then you dashed it, I said, in my head, I was just like, this is the only shit that I have right now. And it wasn't you throwing it and like doing it. It just made me think, it's just like a trigger for me. That's why it made me go so crazy. There's only 2 people in the world I give a fuck about. And that's Elizabeth, that's my mum, grandma, and you. You're the only 2 people that I give a fuck about. I just thought to myself, I'm nothing. Like, I'm not doing anything right. And the only 2 people that I want to make proud or make happy, I'm not. You were always comforting to me. You never made me feel shit about my situation. And in some ways, that's what made me more angry at myself, because I thought to myself,
yeah, see, I'm telling you, he's over
you're
there
literally
telling
not
all
doing
his,
anything wrong. It's all me.
His guilt. He's dropping all his guilt on her to feel better. That's what he's
I don't know
doing.
what to say about that one. I don't know what to say.
You mentioned something earlier about abandoning a child. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Like I asked you, that's why I asked you, do you feel like you're financially stable now?
but that's a whole nother story.
Do you feel like you're financially stable? Because when we was together, you told me you couldn't have children because you weren't financially stable.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
right
all of a
now,
sudden,
how do you feel?
I need to get into that situation.
No, you need to answer the question.
No, I need to get into that situation because it's not a black and white situation. It's not something that would make sense to anybody. I'd have to explain it to you. When we was together, like I said, I think it must have been during the 2nd year. This is the reason why I've never sat down and really spoke to you about this, because this is the biggest thing that I've ever.
You should have
This is
studied
the only
that
thing
then.
that's ever bothered me and pissed me off. Yeah.
Which is
and
what?
it's a cause of a lot of problems between me and you would never even know. Best way I could describe it is like this, without bringing somebody else's name and fucking up their name, even though I feel how I feel about that person. Yeah. During the time we've seen each other.
Bitch!
Next week on Full Disclosure.
Remember the last time I broke up with you? Like my friends saw you on a dating site.
When I'm not achieving anything else, the fact that I could get gal was the only thing that was an
We
achievement.
gotta watch the second one. I need to know what the fuck this nigga gotta say. Is this it? Part 2.
Everybody's got, something that they could improve at, that they could be better at, but it's like one thing and you're out the door.
I haven't come here for this. I'm not going to get violated and I have to set a standard. If I let that slide for the whole week, my shit's going missing then.
When people think you're weak and you physically can't, handle.
What you say to them, they will never like me. All they can do is come to my face and be fake.
I don't care about this shit. I don't care about this. We're watching this.
No, do you care about your
No.
child?
I need to
What do you
get
mean
to
to
that.
get to
I
that?
need to get to that because you don't understand it.
I just want to know where you found the time.
I never had nothing else to do. What? Because I don't feel sentimental feelings towards people. That's
No, not towards people, for your own flesh and blood.
That man has a whole child, bro. Who put you into this, bro? Somebody in the chat.
like I said. There was you and all these other side bitches that I didn't give a fuck about. Many people could say, "Rah, like you met my mum, you met my family." I didn't give a fuck about their family. Like I said, I'd go to people's house, look at their mum right in the eye, and be like, yeah. And these times I don't give a fuck about their daughter or nothing else, and I still don't. Yeah.
I hear him, but that's still mental
during the second year we was
like,
together,
these are all excuses.
like there was somebody that, like I said, citing, not you up there, not the two below that I just kept there as a consistent
my
link.
fucking
Below
God.
that, I had a few other consistent links. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, when I say consistent links, I mean in the sense that I didn't even really like these fucking people. I might just have them around because one has a banging body, one might be
So
a
she
light-skinned
don't got
thing
all
with green
that?
eyes. Another one might have a Jamaican accent and she's kind of thick. These people don't
Just
mean
disgusting.
So she doesn't have
these
that.
people don't mean shit to me. They probably thought it was way more than it was because I would, like I said, I'd meet these people's parents.
Yeah, and you spend money and time
I was seeing
and
someone that was like
energy.
4 years old and like I met her fucking daughter. Like I'd meet people's whole families, and I didn't give a fuck about their family. And I can say that confidently, and I could look in the camera, I didn't give a fuck about them.
Her daughter?
I'd meet people's kids, I'd meet people's mums, their grandparents. I didn't give a fuck about these people.
I don't understand why you think that's okay to be going around seeing all these people.
Like, what the fuck?
You told me that it makes you feel, what would you say? I don't know, like it's your purpose or something like that.
When I'm not achieving anything else, the fact that I could get gal was the only thing that was an achievement to me.
But
Okay,
that's
but
not
that still doesn't make sense.
Why is it that I could meet people's parents and not give a fuck about that?
All of it.
The reason
all
I
of
could,
it.
You're sick.
it's not
Being
hard.
able to meet so many people, for what reason?
not
Don't you
have a
find it
connect- I mean-
disgusting?
Looking back at it, yeah. But at the same time, the reason, if you're asking me why I didn't give a fuck about these people and their families and anything like that, you know me well enough to know that
Bro,
I don't
she
give a
don't
fuck
know
about
you.
my biological mum. I don't give a fuck about my dad. I don't care about these people. My brothers, I don't give a fuck about these people. The only reason I ever even gave Christine, who's my biological mum, a kiss on the cheek is because I saw you communicating with her and you made me see her like somewhat of a human being. Because I never
That's
saw
terrible.
her.
You shouldn't say
No,
that.
but you know that. But you know that enough. It's not nothing new that you knew. You saw how I treated.
Yeah, but no, I didn't know that that's the reason why.
Nah, I never gave a fuck about her. When you say to me how I could do these, like feel this way about these people, because if I don't give a fuck about my biological parents, why would I give a fuck about other people's parents?
Do you care about
I
your
don't care
child?
about that. I'm gonna get to that.
No, do you care about your
No.
child?
I need to
What do you
get
mean
to
you need to
that.
get to
I need
that?
to get to that because you don't understand it. So I need to explain it to you, otherwise you ain't gonna get it. So I'll
Let's
get
start
into
now, explain it.
So
'Cause I've
during
never heard it.
during the second year when we've seen each other, like I said, there was somebody I was seeing consistently
Okay, like-
that probably thought I was them.
Look, I can understand that people have fallouts with people and they dehumanize people seeing after, someone do something bad to you and you decide to cut communication. Like, I've cut communication with people. That doesn't mean if they call me and they're like, bro, I'm gonna, but like this man is openly saying like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about this shit. Like, I'm not, bro, if I don't care about something, I'm not gonna go live in the thing. Like, I'm not gonna stay in front of the thing. I'm not gonna entertain the thing. I hate wasting my time. Like, you're telling me you have all this energy, bro. It's so much energy to have one relationship. You know how much energy it is to have one relationship, then have two at the bottom, then four at the, like, it's so much. And he's like, I don't care. It's a lot of people for you to not care about, for you to not feel a little bit of attachment or a little bit of something. Something is wrong. Like, I guess that he's explaining his progression. I do, LCP. I do. Okay? But this thing, him sitting there and bringing her there, it has nothing to do with her. Like, it has nothing to do with her at all. This is about him. He should have went to therapy and did that. Like, he's literally saying this, and even then, him being like, yeah, in the now, he's still in, he's probably aware of what he's doing, but he's still in the same spot that he was before. Because why they ask him, do you not care about your child? He can't say a simple yes or no. Like, he's just self-aware of what he's doing now, but it doesn't mean he's stopping what he's doing. And all these excuses here and there, like, he always has like a but. Like, sometimes if you do something, just say you do it and move on. Like, yeah, I did that, and then yeah, I'm ashamed of it, I did that. This nigga always try to explain stuff. Sometimes there's no need to explain anything. Like, it's self-explanatory. Like, you have your own kid and you don't care about it, and now you're telling me because you don't care about your family doesn't mean you're not, bro. He literally said he grew up and he didn't have anything, he was broke, and you have a child and you became just that thing. You made them experience that same shit that you experienced. And then he's saying, and the other thing is, he said, it took me social media to really see what I was doing. Like, it took you social media? Social media made you realize how much of a dickhead asshole that you are? Like, social media, because you started touching money? Money made you realize how much of an asshole you are because people are probably treating you the same way? Or using you for your money? Like, you're on the other side of the stick? Come on now. No. That's
Man,
disgusting.
I didn't give a fuck about them.
She
Yeah?
thought you was her man.
All these people thought I was their fucking boyfriends. Everybody did.
Nigga, they were
They give some of these people probably put pictures out of me and say that I was with them. I didn't give a fuck about them.
Bro, no.
They
That's
could
what I
think
said.
it was something special, but to me it wasn't shit.
Sometimes you don't care about something, but you have to care about the person that's going to see that thing. Like, nigga was over there being boyfriend number 1, 2, 3, boyfriend to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 women, and then bro, no, like that's fucked up, and that's messed up on every count. Like,
I would take a picture of somebody's
How often
mum.
were you seeing these people for them to think that you're in a relationship with them?
It was consistent over
So
years.
when was this happening? When I was staying at your house, when we were staying together? Is it the moment I left?
No.
When I will stay around 3 days a week and I'll go home.
Like
is
I
that
said,
when?
these people were consistent.
I just want to know where you
inside
found the
your
time.
home and
I
everything.
never had nothing else to do.
So when you was working,
He was not working.
The nightclub thing was what, Thursday to Saturday.
okay,
The
but I'd meet you after sometimes.
no, but
so
you
I want to know when you had the time.
No, but you got to remember as well. These two jobs weren't even consistently at the same time, so I always had free time. Anytime you ever said I want to come and see you, I never said no, right? I always said yes.
No, but the times you were working, and I'll be at your house.
I had a lot of free time. Now, let me ask you something. Let me just say something
Wait,
to you.
was you seeing these people after work? Or
Not often. I had time. That's what I'm trying to say. I had time to see all these people.
I know, but where did you find the time when I was at your house, when I was staying with you, when we went to Birmingham and I was staying in Birmingham with you? When did you see these people? Have you lied about working?
Nah. Even in Birmingham, there was somebody that I used to see in Birmingham.
Oh my fucking god.
No, I know.
No, and it's not even the person that you thought it was.
It doesn't matter. I know you were seeing
But
people.
no. But the point I'm trying to make is I had
That's
time.
why I left you.
No, but the point is I had time. I had time to rotate 16 girl around, and then have you as my main girlfriend. I had time.
16.
But like I said, I never saw these people as anybody I gave a fuck about.
When I started working night shifts, and it's like all of a sudden, sometimes I'm calling his phone, he's not even answering his phone.
And that was all during the time. I had time. I had free time. I had loads of free time.
And I'll come see you on the weekend.
I had loads of free
You
time.
make me sick.
But
You're disgusting.
so during the second year that I was seeing you, there was something I was just linking. Like I said, they probably thought it was more deep than it was. Like the other fucking,
Shut up, Joe.
like the other
Carry
16
on.
fucking people that thought it was something.
Carry on.
There was this person I was linking, yeah? And when I got with this person, linking, one of the reasons I got on with them so well, yeah, and I actually met this person at the same event. When I first got with this person and linked them, they said they couldn't have kids. And I was like, that's fucking great because I don't want to have kids anyway, and definitely not with you because you're just the side chick to me. Like, this ain't going to ever progress to be fuck all because I got my girlfriend, which is you, and I don't want nobody else like that, yeah? Now, we stopped seeing each other. Right? We stopped doing the consistent linking thing.
Why?
Not consistent because
Why?
I didn't give a fuck about them. So
Okay.
and I just thought I'm bored of you. So you can, like, why would I want to see someone like that? I didn't see them for like 6 months, and then randomly out the blue they shouted me. I went to see them. We slept together. Now, you know me well enough to know that I can kind of
I'm not going to talk about that, but go on.
No, but you know, I
but go
have
on.
to say it, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Go to sleep. You didn't get me any fork, babe. Can I get some fork? A fork, please? Thank you, babe. This video is a PR stunt. I'm not gonna lie. If I ever say things don't be fake, I'm gonna 100% assume that this is fake and that this man is not an actual human being. Like, I'm gonna literally. This is not true. This can't be true.
Like, you already know that I can control coming. Yeah? Really?
Carry on.
Yeah. You already know that like, I'm not firing at nobody unless it's by choice. Yeah? But this one time, I did, not because I wasn't thinking, and I thought to myself, you can't even have youths anyway, so this don't even matter. Like, and plus, I ain't seen you in 6 months and we ain't that, so fuck yourself. Like, I'm just gonna do this, and then we ain't gonna see each other, whatever. It's just like a quick fling or whatever. Yeah? Now, a few months later, that person had sent me a message, and they said,
Thank you, my sweet. Are you gonna take a nappy? Did you feed the pup-ups? No. Are you gonna feed them now? It's been a long time. It's 9.
they said that they was pregnant. And the first thing I said to myself was, bruv, I don't know why you tell me that bullshit, bruv. You need to go to the thingy and just get an abortion real quick because I don't want to have a fucking kid with you. I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah? And in that moment, I just felt like I had to be super honest. And I said, look, bruv, I'll be real for you, like, you're one of like 16 people. Yeah? You ain't even someone I see as my girlfriend. I don't even really like you like that. So realistically, this can't be nothing like that. So it's best that you do that. They said that they were gonna go do it. And then I was meant to go with them on that day. And to be fair,
I didn't really give a fuck, so I just went to link some next thing. I didn't go with them.
That's
and then I
disgusting.
felt like such an idiot because when they even told me that they were pregnant, I said, how can you be
That's
pregnant
disgusting.
when you told me the first time I met you can't have kids? How can you be pregnant? So already I was thinking, bruv, I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. Like, and you know me, I've never been one of them guys to tell anybody I want to have children. And you know me well enough to know that from someone that's been with me for 4 years. And
So
you're
you
the only
blocked
person.
her?
No, I told her.
No, you blocked her.
I told her.
You blocked her.
Listen, how can you know what's going to happen if I'm not telling you? Yeah?
That's disgusting.
Like
He's
I said, the first thing that went
disgusting.
through my mind was,
He's disgusting.
you said you couldn't even have kids, so this shouldn't even be a conversation. You got to get the abortion real quick, so I don't want to hear this. Yeah?
Let's be honest. Let's really sit down and listen to what Tate is saying. I can have thousands of wives. I can have this. These people know their place. They know this. Tate makes sure that you know what's going on. This man right there, he sees it as he plays a game, and his game is like, he don't tell the truth. This is a liar. This is a lying ass seeing accomplishments as getting, like, this man is a liar. This man is a fucked up individual. Not that I'm saying Tate don't be saying some things that are a little bit but Tate, I don't know. I can't put Tate compared to this man. Like, Tate, yes, some things he says I don't agree with, and you guys all know that. And then other things he says make sense. I'm sorry to say it. Sometimes, he does make sense sometimes. Okay? This one is what do I call it? He is hiding behind something. Okay? This is just like, Tate will tell you, look, I want you to be my second wife, and this is what I'm expected of you. Can you do this? Yes or no? If not, I can't do this. This man, he will tell you, I'm gonna do everything. Like, I'm gonna go meet your parents. I'm gonna do this. Like, bro, no, this is disgusting. He's disgusting. Like, he's not honest with himself. Like,
Then the next day they come back and say they didn't do it, and I was like, bruv, are you dumb? Like, why would you?
Do you know what?
Well,
Do
like-
you know what? First of all, I don't see why you feel like you have the right to tell anybody to get an abortion if they fall pregnant by
No.
you, because you're the one that's being like,
No.
you're moving
Yes.
reckless.
No, listen.
You lay down with her.
Listen.
You said you could control yourself, but you didn't control yourself. Okay, so now, that's you now. That's
No,
all
because
you.
the person said they couldn't get
It
pregnant.
doesn't
so
matter
why-
whether they said it or not.
What do you mean it
So
doesn't matter
what?
if they said it or not?
So anyone can say that and it's alright. You just believe them.
No, you shouldn't just believe them.
So
But I seen
what?
this-
What you just believe?
I
her?
was seeing this person consistently for like 2 years, like on and off like a link. So why would they lie to me about that?
why would they not?
If
You
I was
lied
linking
to
them for 2
them.
years like this,
He
fuck-
literally, you see what he is? He's one of those people that are like, I can do this, but you can't do that. You see how he was like, I'm in a relationship with you, I love you, but I was cheating. And she was like, so if I was in a relationship, I loved you and I cheated, like, is that okay? No, you can't do that. What? It's a one-sided thing. Like, you're crazy. He's crazy. I'm sorry. He's crazy. He's literally like, I know we all have our differences with Andrew Tate and shit like that. Don't put this man next to Andrew. I'm sorry. I would take a person with the mentality of Andrew Tate than this man right there. Like, this is a fucking disgusting ass roller coaster, whatever the fuck this is. This no, like, bro.
fucking them every so often. Why would I think they'd lie about not being able to get pregnant? That's dumb.
And she said this from the
I
beginning.
believe them. Yeah, they told me that they couldn't from the beginning, the first time I got with them. Then fast forward now, as soon as they told me that, I said, what are you even saying? Because you said you couldn't get pregnant, so what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, there's always a chance.
Like, in that moment, I'll be real with you, yeah? I told the person straight up, like, I don't know what kind of bullshit that you're trying to pull, but...
Are you surprised I'm saying that? Obviously, I wouldn't really go for someone like that. Like, because the thing I don't agree with Andrew Tate, the biggest thing I don't agree with him is the way he says, like, he talks to women like, their property in a way. Like, he makes them seem somehow like he's a pimp and stuff like that. I don't like that. I feel like, even if he doesn't want it to be like an equal partnership, like, to be with someone, when they sit down and like, look, this is what I'm looking for. Like, I like you, you like me. This is what I need. This is what I want. Can you do that? Like, I feel like a man like that come up to you and they talk to you about it. You decide. You have the decisions to choose. I can see myself living like this for the rest of my life. And I don't want to do this. You know, like most of these girls that are like with him, they wanna be with that because, like I said, they like the money. They like, okay, yeah, okay, I have to suffer a little bit for this, but like they're on their own free will from what I've seen. Okay, I don't know what's behind closed door, but from what I've seen, everyone goes in there with their own free will. There, this man will literally come to you and try to get you and ride so hard and get you, and you thinking you're in a fucking relationship with this man, and he's over there really like, yeah, you nobody, like behind your back saying this, like doing stuff with you, not carrying out, like that is a scary ass nigga right there. Like he will literally lie. Like this is literally lies coming out. Like you don't even know what the fuck who he is. Like she's telling her, you know me, and every time he says you know me, he goes, but like Andrew Tate wouldn't tell you that. There would be no surprises with Andrew Tate. Like you already know. Like I feel like, of course, he probably doesn't tell you the full thing on social media, but he probably tells you like, this is this. Like I need someone that cook, cleans, does this, does that. Can you do that? This nigga, and he will tell you openly like, I have this person, that person, that person. This nigga's not doing that. Like you in there and you're just getting slapped with fucking weird shit left and right. No, he's disgusting.
You're not gonna get me with no sympathy thing trying to make me feel like you're not gonna make me feel anything for this. Like I'm not gonna be. I'm not one of them people that sells people dreams like I want to have a family of people. I don't want to have no family of people. Okay. You're the only person I ever wanted to have a family of. So I'm not the type of guy to tell people and sell people dreams that I want to have a child with them. And you know that well enough. As much as I chat shit, you know that enough to know that I would never tell somebody I'd want kids with them because I never wanted kids. Going into that now, I aired this person for 4 years. I blocked them because I said, bruv, what the fuck are you trying to pull? Yeah? And I never spoke to them for 4 years. But then by that,
and you don't even regret that?
No.
Not one bit?
No.
That your child is out there?
Listen, the reason I'm going to get to that. I don't regret nothing. I don't regret nothing. Just like when I met Christine at 9 years old and I looked her in the face and I never felt nothing for her.
No, but that's
just like when I met my dad at 23,
your flesh and blood. You don't regret abandoning your child?
Ree, how can I feel, if I'm telling you right now, and you know me well enough to know that I met Christine, my biological mum, and for how many years of my life, I never even looked at this woman as someone that I'd even want to be associated with me. I hated looking at her. And she didn't even do anything to me. I just didn't like anything about her.
So
just like when I met my dad at 23, and then I met him and I found out, even though he was schizophrenic, even though Christine was schizophrenic.
First of all, I need to know who did this bowl for Joshy Poo because this shit is thick and filled and packed. Was it Charlene? Was it you? I remembered your name. I think it was Charlene. I gotta text Josh because hold on. I gotta type this or thick ass bowl. Thick ass bowl. This is a thick ass bowl, like. He said, bro, she's hooking it up. Was it her? Like, I need to know because every time he goes at this time, that girl be, bro. It's so good. It's like, it's so good. I got lunch for tomorrow. It's so good. That's the same worker. It gotta be a worker. It's the same worker. Like every time he goes at a certain time and look at that. That shit is full. Like it's bending and the meat is like, bruh, come on now.
Understanding their situations and understanding that they were both on drugs.
I still didn't know.
Just listen to what I'm trying to say to you. You're just
waffling because you're not making no sense.
The other thing I want to say about Andrew Tate is that nigga's not. I don't think that nigga's gonna abandon his kids. I'm sorry. That man want to build an army of kids, people like him. He's not abandoning his children. He's not abandoning his kids. I'm sorry. He's not gonna say I don't feel nothing for the kids. He might not care about the woman, but he's gonna care about the child. Like,
just like I didn't give a fuck about them and what they went through, I didn't give a fuck about this. Same way. Just like when I met my dad, like I said, I didn't feel nothing. Just like when I met Christine, I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing.
I'm not gonna lie though. The thing that he's saying, like he doesn't feel things. Sometimes I meet people and I don't feel anything. But just because I don't feel anything doesn't mean I have to treat them like dirt. Doesn't mean I have to drag them through this false like path. It doesn't mean that I have to be a dickhead. If I don't feel anything, I don't feel anything. I move on. Okay? He doesn't feel anything and he's doing this. Like, you have responsibility. It's the common sense. It's a human being. Like, I don't, bro.
I don't feel fuck all for these people. But after 4 years
Could you
of
imagine?
airing this person, the only thing that...
Could you imagine? He was with that person for 4 years. He did not even make a fucking connection. 1, 2. Could you imagine as a mother, you go online and your friends are telling you, yeah, you see what your son said about you? And he's openly saying on air, I don't give a fuck about my mom. Like, I never saw her as a human being until you started, like, smiling and stuff with her. What? Even if his mom was schizo, even whatever the fuck his mom was or is, he should have still cared a little bit, or still, even if he doesn't care, he should have, like, he shouldn't be saying these things. Like, it's just not, like, bro, come on.
that made me even think to reach out, which is what I did, was not because of any emotional, sentimental thing, because I don't feel that. I just looked at it like,
This nigga's delusional.
if it wasn't for
He needs a lot of
my
healing.
grandmother adopting me and helping me and saving my life and doing it, I'd probably be a crackhead just like my dad would be a crackhead. I might be schizophrenic like both of them too. So the only thing that made me say, I said to myself, let me reach out and make a communication and try and build something, even though I don't like the person, what they've done. And let me build a communication. But it's not out of love or sentimental reasons. It's because I just thought to myself, I don't want this person to grow up and end up being a fucking crackhead and shotting a pussy for £20, bruv. Like, that's all it is. It don't mean that I give a fuck about it or anything like that. Just like I said, I didn't give a fuck.
But he just said he don't want them growing up selling pussies for £25. You do feel about something. You just felt a way. That's feelings just now. You reached out because you felt that you didn't want them to be something. What? Okay.
Fuck about Christine or my dad. I don't give a fuck about none of these people.
So back to your child.
So back to that, I then found out from this person, and even when I went to meet this person to do this paternity test, because I thought it's still bullshit, because how can you say you can have kids, and then all of a sudden I just didn't believe it. So I took a paternity test thing, and in that moment that person basically slipped up and they basically admit they lied again. So by the time they even told me they found out they're pregnant, they had known already. So by the time they even said to me, etc., etc., it would have been too late for them to do it. So in essence, it was never any kind of, I never really had any say in it, regardless.
Okay, so in the situation
actual
now,
child, yes.
how do you feel about your child who's out there?
Yeah.
What do I feel? Like
How
I
do you
said,
feel about the child that's out there, your child?
I don't feel.
You never think about your child?
I don't feel no sentimental,
feel
nothing. No love, nothing.
No love
within the
towards
first,
your child?
within the first year,
Do you know how you look? You feel.
It's not about how I look, because I don't care about how I look to people. I'm being honest.
You're mad.
It's not about being mad, Ree.
How do you not care about your own child that's out there?
How do I not give a fuck about my biological mum?
His mom's schizophrenic, his dad's schizophrenic, he's bound to have some type of mental illness. It just happens to be that he's undiagnosed. You know, he's not diagnosed with what he has, but he has something. And we all can see that he has something, and we're just gonna not talk about it, okay?
My dad. Like I said, the only reason I reached out was because...
So your child is a situation that you're never gonna go back to. that's it, you'll never reach out?
I have reached out. And that's the point I'm trying to make. After 4 years, I have.
And then what happened after that?
I've been trying to build a relationship from that.
You've been trying to build?
But it's not out no sentimental reasons or out of love. I don't feel that. It's out of obligation, because I know it's something that you have to do. Not because I feel nothing. Just like it's obligation for me to show respect and show whatever to Christine. Even though I may not have any sentimental or love for her, it's just the fact that I should give that to her because she's my biological mum. Just like I should have some sort of respect for my dad because he is my biological dad. I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead, I'm just being honest. When you ask me stuff about how can you not care, how can you not have any sentimental feelings, it's because I can't tell you I don't care for Christine. I can't tell you I don't care for my dad just because they're family. The only people I give a fuck about is my grandma, that's my mum. That's the only person I give a fuck about. Anybody else, I don't feel it. Within the first year, when the person sent me a picture of their kid, I took the picture and I threw it in the bin because I didn't give a fuck about that. I just thought to myself, this person is...
He's saying this thing like he doesn't care that his son or daughter, whoever the kid is gonna hear this. Like he's saying that he doesn't understand that even though he feels that way, yes, like your child is going to hear you say that. Like, okay.
And basically lied to me about some shit, and now I'm here, and now basically I've just created another situation where I've created another statistic. That's why I never wanted to have kids. I never wanted to have children. I never wanted to repeat what my grandmother had to go through. My grandmother had to restart her whole life at 50 years old just to raise me.
Well, you should be more responsible then.
No,
and the fact that you have no,
and you're right.
You should be more responsible, and the fact that you do have a child, that is your right to look after your child.
Exactly. And
it's not about throwing it in the bin because this is not what you wanted, or because you feel I don't know. It's
I feel like I was lied to.
It doesn't matter whether you feel like it's like. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. The fact like why
the kid didn't ask to be here.
It's like what?
Hi, Angel.
What? Because I don't feel sentimental feelings towards people. That's
no, not towards people for your own flesh and blood.
What's flesh and blood?
The thing that you're saying, yeah, you're basically saying no.
Let me ask you something.
In our relationship, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you've made it out to me. You paint this picture as the reason why you don't care about your biological mom, your biological dad, is because of how they were. For example, you just said now she got her kids taken away from her.
It's not about how they were. It's that I don't feel that.
Okay, but you've mentioned how she got her kids taken away from her, so she said someone else to have you. I'd understand why you'd be upset about that, or why you feel a certain type of way.
It's not about being upset. I only found this out 2 weeks ago. I'm not upset about that.
Why would you want to put that child in that same shit?
I met Christine at 9, and I looked at her dead in the face, and I looked at my grandma and said, I don't like this woman.
It's because you didn't know her. She hasn't been in your life.
I've known Christine for my whole life.
Your nan looked after you.
Yeah.
Your nan also took you away and raised you.
Yeah.
So when you came back to Christine's, you didn't care about her.
Yeah.
Because she has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. So when you
you created.
No, but when you keep on talking about flesh and blood, you keep on making it seem like.
Okay, but this is your problem.
I'm not saying it's not my problem. That's the thing. You keep on trying to make it seem like I'm trying to take this. I'm trying to tell you this is 4 years ago or whatever, and I'm telling you this is on from what's happened now. I'm trying to tell you that it took me all these times to actually understand myself and understand my thought process.
So right now you've been trying to have communication?
I have been having communication.
You have been having communication.
And that's like I said, it's not about love or anything like that. Just like when my grandmother took me, it wasn't about love.
Your grandmother took you out of love?
Yeah, but it was about obligation also.
No, she wasn't obliged to.
She was
took
obliged.
You out of love.
It's obliged. No, she did it because she feels...
Because your parents were not well.
Listen to what I'm trying to say. She did it because she was obliged to. It was half love and half being obliged to. And I know this because she's told me this herself, which is why she always said, before you ever have kids or something, understand that it's not an easy job, which is why I never wanted to have kids. I've been through the worst poverty
but you did.
With my mum. I've lived in flooded houses with my mum. I'd slept, and when I say my mum, I mean my grandmother. I've slept in bed and breakfast with my mum. Slept in houses made out of galvanized in the Caribbean because of my mum. I used to walk through cane fields in Dominica with my mum walking because we couldn't have transport. Even when my mum took me to Dominica.
I'm full.
And I was there. I was living in a room with 8 kids. I had my first sexual experience
and
at 5.
And I lived in a closet. Now what? Like, what are you saying?
Like, when you're telling me that it's love, yeah, it is love, but it's also obligation, which is why I've never sold any.
That woman was 50 years old, okay, trying to take care of him, and he just sounds ungrateful as fuck. You had a roof over your head. You found food, okay? Look at you now. You survived. She did the best she could. And this man is just ungrateful. He's ungrateful.
Anybody a dream of telling them, I want to have a child with you and we're going to make it work, which is why as much as I loved you and as much as I wanted to get married to you and as much as I wanted all these things with you, I would never ever do that to you because I would never put you in a position where...
Hold on. I have to show y'all this. Whoever did this bowl is in love with Josh because I just ate all the rice. This is all meat. This is all meat, okay? This is all meat. This is all meat. This is all meat and the little corn and sauce. This is all meat. There's no more rice. There's no more rice under this. Like, this is all meat. You made that? Shut the hell up. Shut up. Bro, I need him to go back. What's the... matter of fact, I need the name of this one because it's all meat. I'm done. There's no more rice to eat this with. I can literally put this in a quesadilla. Like, there's no more meat. I mean, not meat. There's no more rice. Like, this is meat. This is chicken and steak. Girl, I have to show this.
I know myself and I know I'm not ready and
There's
I'm
a little
gassing
bit
you up
right
saying I
there,
want to
but-
keep.
So
I would
had I
never
got
ever tell you
pregnant,
that.
then what would you have done? If I fell pregnant, what would you have done?
For you, you're the only person I would want to have kids with. So it would have been a different thing.
Girl,
but
run
I was
away.
never going to let that happen. I was never going to let that happen because I knew how I was moving and I never wanted that to be for you. I know how hard it is for a single mum to raise a child because that's been my whole
Let me save
life.
this for tomorrow.
And like I said, I'm not knocking the person that's the kid's mum, whatever. I'm not knocking it because she's done a great job. But at the same time, of course I'm gonna feel away because I feel I
You
know
knew
I
how hard it
lied
was
to.
for you. You knew how hard it was for your nan to raise you.
But then at the same time, I was still lied to. So I'm gonna feel away about that too.
I
What
just
the
said you knew
fuck?
how hard it was for your nan to raise you.
Yeah.
By herself,
Of course.
and that's what you just wanted
But
for
I was
somebody
lied
else.
to. There's a difference.
You were not
It's not
lied
like
to.
I lied and gassed
Oh,
somebody up and said I want to have kids
But
with
she
you.
never lied about like.
Yes, she did.
What,
How
do
can
you
you
know-
say shit? What did she not lie about? What? Not being able to have kids and all of a sudden you can. Telling
things
me
happen.
I'm gonna go do this.
Miracles
And,
happen, man.
huh?
That's all I say. Miracles do happen. But
Well, I'm a miracle, but I don't know about nothing else.
Shut the fuck up. I hate him. I don't
This
like
is
him.
the thing. I know what it's like to
I
be
get ordered.
resented and be disliked.
Yeah.
When my grandma
Silly.
brought me to Dominica, she left me with the guy that she was with. He would bring me to all his side chicks' houses. Some of them would kill dead animals, hold it in front of me, cut their hands, do all that bullshit, leave me with weird people. Like, so it's not a thing about, I know, like I said, I know how hard things are. I know I'm not a person that would ever put somebody in that position. So it's not a love thing for me. It's obligation because it's the right thing to do. And it took me 4 years to get to that point because I don't want to resent anybody. I didn't want to resent a kid because of how I feel towards their parent, their mother. Which is why it took me, so when you say to me abandon, it's not abandon, it's about if I get around somebody and I feel how I feel and I am how I am, it's not going to benefit anybody else. You'll get the worst of me and I don't want to ever do that to somebody else's child. I never want to do that to somebody's kid. I don't want to do that to anybody because it's been done to me.
is there anything else you need to tell me? Like why you did it today?
The reason I've done it today is because it's taken me a
Like
long
what are you trying to gain from it now? Like what did you expect me to do from?
To be
from this
fair,
point onwards?
I never felt like I owed anybody anything, because I don't. But I always felt like I owed you. I
'Cause
could say
she's-
that
'cause you
you're
have
my
guilt.
first love, and I could say that you're the only person, like I said, I ever wanted to marry or have a family with. I'm not saying that's not happening now, obviously. But the point I'm trying to make is, I just felt like you deserved the explanation for everything. And like I said, I never wanted to come off like, obviously you've seen me.
I'm not gonna lie, I got
throughout
no
the beginning, and
explanation, bro.
you've seen me before social media, now you see me after social media. And then I never wanted you to leave with like the taste in your mouth that I was a shitty person.
Who you was?
You are.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was then.
The taste will always be there.
Yeah, of course, but the point I'm trying to make is that
No.
just
Say
like
he still is.
everything in my life,
Tell
I'm
tell
learning
him
to
he still is a
understand
shitty
it
person.
a bit more
He
and
didn't
come
answer
to grips with it
anything,
more.
like-
So it's not Christine's fault. It's not my biological dad's fault. That's just what happened.
It's your fault.
It's my fault for
Everything.
believing someone and not and just listening to someone instead of strapping up. It was my fault. So even though the person lied to me and they lied twice, it's still my fault because I shouldn't have even done that situation. And now I'm left in a situation where if I ever did want to have a child, like I said, I only ever wanted to have a child with you, and I know it would have been organic because you're the only person I felt that for. So I have
he
to deal
keeps
with
saying
this in
that
the
shit
sense
and
that
it's disgusting.
I've come from a broken kind of family kind of thing.
Bro, I don't care.
And I've continued that. And although there may not be like love
I've
there
come
in
from a
that
broken
sense,
family and I'm fine.
it's
Like, what?
obligation and it's the right thing to do. So all I'm saying is like, just like then, even with the youth situation, like I've had to realize that I can't, although the person lied to me, I have to be real with myself and say I shouldn't have got myself in that situation and I have to deal with the responsibility. But I'm still not gonna lie to myself and say that it's love because it still ain't love for my biological parents, even though it ain't their fault. It's not love for nobody because it's hard for me to feel that. I only love my mum, which is Elizabeth. That's the only person I have real feelings for, and I know that sounds like I'm being a dick, but I just can't help it. It's just how I am. Like when I did the ZZ Mill show that everybody
Just
probably knows me
Samra,
from.
thank you for the reset.
Like,
Appreciate you.
I guess next to everything, that's one of the things that a lot of people know me from. She asked me if I had kids, and then them times I knew.
We might have to do the puppies
Yeah?
later. It's too
Them
late.
times
I'm
I
not gonna
knew.
have time.
I know you lied.
Yeah, of
You
course.
said no, you
yeah.
didn't have kids.
Because
Stop owning it.
No, I didn't own it because of the disdain and anger I felt, and which is why I talk about it's taken me years to get past that feeling of anger and bitterness towards the whole situation. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't my fault my parents had a one night stand, just like it ain't this youth's fault that I was fucking bad things and this thing thought it was something
Yeah,
deeper.
but you should have seen that
and then it is
before
what it
that
is.
happened.
And I don't give a fuck about that person. It's not the youth's fault. when I look back at me and you, I have all these great thoughts and I have all these great feelings and all these amazing times of you in my head. But then when I really put down to the reality, I did a lot of wrong to you. I did so much wrong to you. And as much as I loved you and as strong as my feelings was towards you, I was doing a lot of wrong, which is why I wanted to talk to you in person and say it, because do you know what the problem was? The reason I loved you so much is because I've never seen my mum in someone. And that's what I saw in you. Everything about you, it just gave me a reflection of her, which is why I felt so strongly towards you. And which is why when I talk about family and kids and all these different things, that's why it comes back to you.
I mean, you know I broke up with you, right? Because I just kept having, not only was I having gut feelings about our relationship, or someone messaging me saying they swear they've seen you somewhere.
Is that really what I took? I'm not gonna lie. The way he's going, I'm just taking the worst out of the worst, because this nigga was attracted to her because she had mom-like qualities. Is that not what he just said? Because he takes things very literal, so I have to take it literally. Like, what did he say? He saw her mom and him, so she had mom qualities. So like what? She had mom qualities, and she reminded me so much. You reminded me so much of my mom. Like, so what? You sleeping with her, and you see what, your mother? Like, what is happening here? Is that not what he said? Because I want to know if I'm tripping. Is that Jen? Stop. Is that not what he said? Reminded him of her grandma, so he cared about her more. And that's why he likes her. He loves her. He likes her. That's the main girlfriend. That's why it's the girlfriend. So you want to date someone like your grandma, exactly like your grandma. Man.
Towards the end of our relationship, I would say around 3 months towards the end, I really fell out of love.
Yeah.
I just felt like me being there is wasting my time because I know what you're doing. Like, I feel like I know what you're doing, but you would never change.
Yeah.
Remember the last time I broke up with you? Like, my friend saw you on a dating site.
No, that wasn't the last time you broke up.
No,
You
not
mean
the
before
last
the
time, the
final
one
time?
before that.
Yeah,
The one
I thought you
before
meant the
that,
last
yeah,
time.
you was on a dating site and it was you, it was all your details there, and I
Yeah.
showed it to you. That was the first time I broke up with you, and so it's just like, you know, from that moment, and we've already, 2.5 years in our relationship, so it's like the last time I just felt,
for another 2 years?
there's no point, it's not going to work out, you're not going to change, so what am I here for? If I was to ask you, if you feel like we should, remember we normally have our talks about being in a relationship, like how we feel. If I was to ask you the same question, you'll say it's perfectly fine. So I didn't give you the opportunity to have that talk with us, like that certain conversation. So.
And you're right, because at the time, I wouldn't have been honest because I had so much on my mind, even that situation, life and everything.
And even after everything you said, it's just that I just find it hard to believe that you saw your mum, like the way you portrayed me, like you've seen your mum and me and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just find that hard to believe while she was out doing what you was doing. You wouldn't be doing all that stuff.
No,
that's what you thought.
I know it's hard for you to get it.
Yeah, that's not hard
that's
to
how
get.
it is for me. Like I said, where we go from here, we're never going to get back together like that. But at the same time, I just never wanted you to leave with that feeling about me, to feel like I was a bad person. Even with what I've told you about myself, everything else, I have changed from how I was before. And it's taken me a long time to get to that point. So with you, like I said, it's not about even being a friendship. It's just down to just you, like, closing up the chapter.
He just said all these things trying to make her feel.
Chapter's closed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
I don't know what he thought he was going to do with that talk. Like he was going to get her. You're not getting her back, bro.
Next week on Full Disclosure,
What is this?
Evelyn calls out Lerone as she hopes for him to acknowledge his shortcomings in caring for their disabled daughter and make changes to improve as a father.
Our daughter's deaf. She doesn't have hearing, and I had to deal with that by myself.
No, you didn't.